Good afternoon, Exiles. I wanted to do a very quick 4 to 5 minute tutorial video on how to instill amulets and potentially get thousands of extra damage to your DPS. So as you can see on my monk build here, which I'm level 90, I have an amulet with the node allocates jack of all trades instilled in it. So how did I do that? Well, basically you go to your passive tree, and jack of all trades, as you can see, is all the way down here. It's one of these nodes that I will never get to as a monk because I start my skill points all the way up here, so literally impossible to ever get there. But you can instill it onto an amulet, and the way you do that, and first of all I'll show you what it does. So if you right stick in using a controller, it tells you that if I hadn't already got jack of all trades and instilled it on an amulet, I would end up with, as you can see, normal strikes DPS goes from 91,000 all the way up to 101,000, so you're potentially looking at 10,000 extra damage DPS. So it tells you also underneath it here 2% increased damage per 5 of your lowest attribute. Now my lowest attribute as a monk is strength, which is on 119, which is basically 23 fives go into the 115, which basically means I get 2%, so 46% extra damage. Now looking at this, it also says distilled emotions required is greed, fear and envy. So how do you do it? Well, it's quite straightforward. You go your delirium that you earn in maps, etc., you use that. Now it said here, and sorry I've forgotten already, it tells me that I need greed, fear and envy. Now I haven't got any greed, fear and envy at the moment. I've got envy and I've got greed, but I've got no fear. So you can come to Alva and you can get the fear you need. You only need one of each. Now how to use it, what you would do, and I've got an amulet here for testing. I can't do it obviously because I haven't got the right ingredients, but you have to put them in the order that it displayed. So for example on this it displayed, go back into it, so on this it displayed that I need greed, fear and envy. So what you would do is you would click on one of them, so greed, and you would say use, and then it opens up your instilling, and you place that in the first crafting window, and then you would have fear if you had the fear, but in this case I'll just put another greed in, and envy, the final one, and then you would place your amulet. Now this one's actually going to give me freedom of movement, so just for the purpose of this video I will actually instill this on this random amulet I've got. I'm not that worried about it, but it gives me 30% increased evasion rating and another 30% increased evasion rating if you've dodged a roll recently. So instill, and then as you can tell, go back into it, go back into the box, take my amulet out, and then look at the amulet, and you can see at the top there allocates freedom of movement. So that is now instilled, and that would give me all that extra evasion. It's really something that you need to look at because, as I say, potentially if you're going for damage you could really up your build. Anyway, I hope this small tutorial was helpful, and be good to each other out there and take care.